make $10, $20, $30,000 a month, and Airbnb is not as hard as you think it is, right? And the good thing I like about Airbnb is like it don't require you to own any property. So you don't gotta go out, do a rehab, go get different finance opportunities from the bank and then go acquire debt. You actually could leverage other people's property. Like I'm in one of my Airbnbs right now, right? And this property that I'm in, it paid me passively every single month. And the one thing that I like about it is like it don't take like a big investment to get started. And then you got this big platform like Airbnb, which is super profitable, which allows you to basically go ahead and list your space as a host, and then you can make money per night. So I want you to like break down the concept. Most like real estate investors, when they go get a property, do they rehab, they get paid every month, right? So they, this rent that's in here is $1,500, $1,800 a month. Like that's how the real estate investor get paid. I want you to break it down, and I want you to kind of like go in the mindset of getting paid in days. So now once we switch our mindset and we understand like, yo, we can actually get paid in days, then guess what? Now we could be like, yo, instead of, the landlord charging us $1,500 a month and we just being a tenant and this is the live, that's $50 per day that they getting. But on the Airbnb side of things, right, when we actually own an Airbnb, guess what? We could go and we could demand $150, $180, $200, $250 a night, depending on your market, depending on what type of property you actually hosting. Now you could start running up the bag based on the day. You get paid every day. So every time somebody spends $250, right? Like, so my average listing here that I'm at is $220 a night, right? So you do that over the course, and I don't see a lot of Airbnbs that's booked up 100% of the time. Like if you got an Airbnb and your occupancy rate is at 100%, then 9 times out of 10, like you're charging too less. Like you should never be booked at 100%. Like that means that your price is just too low, if that makes sense. You want to be booked anywhere from 70% to 75, 80% at the most. If you booked at 80%, like that's good. 70% is great because your price is right where you need to be at. If you book 80%, then you probably could look at the market and be like, dang, I probably could raise my prices a tad bit because I'm still getting booked like consistently. And that's really the goal, is to get booked consistently. But if you booked 100% of the time, then that just means your price is too cheap. If you booked anywhere under 70%, then it's probably like your price is too high. And you can always gauge on different days. But just think about it like this, like the average date that you, like the average occupancy rate that you want to have is like 21 days out the month. That's like 70%, right? So you do 21 days times the average, what we charging here is $220, and you already know like you're gonna get an influx on a weekend. Like that Friday, Saturday, Sundays, those days are gonna be significantly higher because we already trained in our mind, right, that hotels charge more money. So why wouldn't it be more money on Airbnb on the weekend? Now of course your weekly rate and your weekend rate is going to differ based on your location, what type of units you got, but you could really start to see the trend in your money. You really could start to see like, all right, if my average booking is $220 a night, let me go times that by 21 days, and then that's going to be my profit that I'm actually going to make throughout the month. And you could kind of like predict your income, right? And there's a lot of other ways to be creative like in the Airbnb process. Like you don't always have to necessarily come to the table with all the money. Like you could actually partner with somebody and then y'all could go split the proceeds, right? You could actually leverage credit like I did. Like one of the things was I leveraged a credit card. So what I did first, last, and security on a credit card, right? And then I furnished the whole Airbnb on a credit card, so I came out of pocket, no money, right? And then what I did was all of the money that I was making off of the Airbnb, I was using that to pay me and pay the credit card back at the same time. So I was all in, no investment, right, out of my pocket. And then I had 0% interest on this credit card for 12 months. So I had a whole year before I paid interest on this credit card, right? And it was a business credit card, so it's not reporting to my personal side, but I had 0% interest on this credit card that I didn't even have to pay interest on for the whole year. So boom, what do? Now every month, right, I take proceeds from my Airbnb and I pay that minimum balance back, right? But I make sure that I pay that balance back before that year is up because I don't want to recur that interest. So now basically I got a free Airbnb on a credit card, right, that I'm paying 0% interest on, and I got something producing me cash flow every single day that is booked. Not every month like the landlord, but every single day. So I'm a different type of landlord. I'm like a hybrid landlord, right? And then we gotta understand like Airbnb is not just one of those things that you can do to where as though like you just renting houses. You could do apartments, you could do condos, candles. You could do goddamn treehouse. You could do a yacht. It's so many different things that you could do on Airbnb, and Airbnb is not the only platform. You got other platforms like VRBO, HomeAway, Booking.com. Like, you got other platforms, Peerspace. You got other platforms that you could list your Airbnb on to increase your value of the booking and get money on other platforms to secure you that other 30% that you missing out of that 70% that you booked on Airbnb, so you really can maximize your unit and you can have multiple things going on. Let's just go like this. Like, let's just break it down and let's look at the actual rental business, right? So one of the other rental businesses that I have is the event space. We host birthday parties, baby showers, different things like that, right? Just like whatever you want to rent, private dinner for a special occasion, right? So the reason why I started getting into Airbnb, because I fell in love with the rental game. Like, anything that I could actually get in where I could charge somebody for being in there for a certain amount of hours and get paid for those hours, and I still got more hours that I could get paid on, is going to make you a successful business. And here's why. Now I got my event space, right? A relatively small event space is like 1,000 square feet. So now I'm letting people come in, host a baby shower. They paying me $500 to $1,000 per event just to have my space. They coming in, they setting up all their decorations, they setting up all these different things. They having their event, right? But they're just renting the space from me, and the space is only rented to them for 5 hours, right? So now every 5 hours, depending on what package they get, because we got upsells and things like that, so we got different packages, but based on what package they get, they paying me anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for those 5 hours. So now just think about the concept. Now I'm able to have 2 events on Friday. That's $1,000 or $500, right? 2 events on Saturday, right? That's $500 to $1,000 each event, but I'm having 2 events. So let's just say $500 on Friday, I had 1 event. 2 events on Saturday, that's 2 events. That's $1,000. 2 events on Sunday, right? That's another $1,000. So that's $2,500 for the week. That's just those 3 days. Not to mention the miscellaneous things that I could do during the week and other little events or pop-up shops or workshops or yoga classes or whatever I want to have during out the week, right? Just renting the space. I'm making $2,500 just on a weekend from just having the space, allowing people to rent it, right? So it's the same thing with Airbnb. It's just that they're spending the night, right? And you're able to basically have these people stay in the property that you don't have to own, but you're able to host your space, collect money for them sleeping in your space for a couple of hours. But now I want you to take this mindset and I want you to apply it to other different things, right? So if I got one Airbnb that's making me $5,000 to $6,000 a month, right? That's more than what a lot of investors are getting for a single family home for their rental portfolio. They might be passively bringing in $700, passively bringing in $1,000. I'm passively bringing in $6,000 per month. So now I go take those proceeds and I go roll it into investing in other Airbnbs. Okay, I know that this model is working. I got proof of concept. Let me go get another Airbnb. And that's exactly what I did. I went and I got another Airbnb with that money that I was profitable with from the first Airbnb. So now I doubled. So now I got $10,000, $12,000 coming in every single month, right? So, and now my money is working for me because these Airbnbs are making me money. I'm spending less time in these Airbnbs. Like, just think about the concept. How much time are you going to spend in your Airbnb every day opposed to working your job, right? You might be in here an hour cleaning, or you might hire a staff. While you go work your job, you hire a staff. Your staff come clean. So now they get a percentage of the cleaning fee, which is on top of the booking fee. So now you pay them out of the cleaning fee, and now you have a staff to clean your Airbnb and do your turnovers. Now you can keep doing what you got to do. So then I go and roll in 3 Airbnbs. Now I got $15,000 to $18,000 a month coming in passively, and then you go 4 or 5 depending on what type of investor you is. But compared to the person who did the initial investment, a real estate investor, right? You're like 5-6x in your income compared to what they getting. And I'm not trying to knock real estate because I got real estate too. But when I looked at the concept from the rental business, I was like, yo, how can I go get some money in every part of the rental business now? Now I'm thinking about, yo, how can I rent my car now, right? How can I leverage my car? Because these are all liabilities, right? But how can we turn them into assets? So now I'm looking at it like, okay, cool, right? How can I make my car an asset now? Okay, we're gonna put the car on Turo. Now I'm looking at everything like, how can I make it an asset? Okay, jet skis. All right, boom. How much is a jet ski? Now we could go get a jet ski from anywhere from a used jet ski to a new jet ski from like $7,000 to $12,000, right? Depending on what type of jet ski you got. All right, we're gonna send that down Miami and we're gonna charge $80 to $100 an hour. We're gonna have that thing on the water for like 8 hours. Now you're making $100 an hour. That's $800 a day for it being on the water, just from you renting it out. Okay, you probably gotta pay somebody, just monitor it. I mean, lock it up when it's time. Have that thing out on the water. But now you got something making you passive income every single day to where words though, you making $800 a day. Now, what's Gab? Give me 800 times 30, right? So now you making 800 every single day off a jet ski that you bought one time and just putting a system in place where that thing could get rented out on the water. How much is that? That's $24,000 in 1 month. So you pay $7,000 for the jet ski. It get rented for $100 for 8 hours every single day for a month. You made $24,000. Now in your first month, you go get 2 more jet skis and still got money to go in your pocket, right? And then you might go say, yo, we gonna go get a yacht. We gonna rent yachts. All right. So look, you probably think like, yo, I can't afford a yacht right off the bat. But how can you position yourself in the middle? How can you be a broker? And that's how I really think. Like when it comes to the rental business, that's how I think. What could be rented? All right, let me see if I could broker a deal if I could get some money with the jets. Let me see if I could broker a deal I can get some money with the yachts. Let me see if I broker a deal I can get some money with the cars. But if I could be in a position where I could get an Airbnb, where I could get a car, I could get my own stuff, then guess what? Now I can start thinking about different streams of income that I could buy one time, make it go work, and now I could quadruple and 5 and 6 and 10x my profits that I invest. So literally, that's how you could go and make $10, $15, $20,000 in Airbnb without owning any properties, and then turn around and start understanding and having a rental mindset, because there's so much money in the rental game. You could turn around and use that same strategy for every aspect of your life. So look, like, subscribe, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap in. I got some links in the description that'll definitely help you out. We got an Airbnb training where we show you the whole 7-step process of how you can get started, make some money at Airbnb and become profitable. Different ways to leverage your credit is down there as well. 24-hour inquiry removal, all those different things, man, that go into the rental business is right in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Let's get it.